Okay, so hi everyone, and once again, welcome back. Hope the journey till now is interesting, and definitely you will be eager to know about the next stops in this journey. So, the next station is the strategic analysis. A very important point because here, as a business analyst, we're going to be discuss where we are and where we want to be go. If you remember on the part one, we discussed about the type of requirement functional, non-functional, and the transitional. Here we are going to be discuss about something related to that only. So the strategic analysis is focused on defining the future and the transition states need to be addressed, the business need, and the work required is defined on the both by the need and by the scope of the solution. It covers the strategic thinking in the business analysis as well as the discovery or imagination of the possible solution. It's too much English. Let's go in the layman perspective now. So what it says specifically, in this place, we are going to be discuss, we are going to be address that where we are and where we want to be move. That is what the first line says, the future and the transition states. Specifically, if I can say from the agile perspective, so plan, design, development kind of things, I can put it here. We have to finalize the work required from the both side, that what customer need and what the scope says and how I can put together and build a solution in this particular space. And the last, it says it covers the strategic thinking in the business analyst. Also, you have or we have to be start thinking on the imagination perspective, that what can be the possible solution for this particular problem. We have to be defined here. So the strategy define the most effective way to apply the capabilities. Okay, and it may includes the strategy for the entire enterprise. Maybe today we are implementing service now just for one department, but tomorrow if it is going to be for the complete enterprise, that how this strategy will be work. It can be defined for a one department, one division, one region, one product, one project, or one iteration. Okay, so what it says basically, the strategic analysis knowledge area describe the business analysis work must be performed to collaborate with the stakeholders to identify the strategic need or the tactical importance. Important here that let's go back a little bit in the previous previous two part. When I get the requirement, I don't know that how it can be built up, because my work is to just gather the requirement. But here I have to be defined, which I'm saying the word as a strategy or as a tactical solution. Sometime, let's say I want to do integration of the two systems. Till the time both systems are fully integrated, I can use some tactical solution on the place. This is what we can discuss here. So what it involves, what it includes here. So number one, it says analyze the current state, define the future state, assess risk, and finally change strategy. But before that, let's discuss about when we are performing this task, the whole task as a strategic analysis, what we have to be take care. Number one, in the context in which they are working. It is very much important. The context what says in which area, in which atmosphere, in which scenario, in which condition, in which situation we are working, we're building this thing. We have to be considered that. Second point, say how predictable the range of possible outcome. That up to what strength, up to what point, up to what parameters I can think and I can say that yes, I can build the solution for this particular point. And when a change will have a predictable outcome, that okay, if I implement this, I will get this. Then I have to define the future state and the possible transitional states as well. That is very much important. Maybe it's little difficult to understand, but when we go for the task level, we can understand a little bit more easy. So the first state says analyze the current state. If you speak to any of the process consultant, the first point he says, I want to understand as this. This is what the current state say here. Analyze the current state means how a company, how a customer, how a solution, how a stakeholder behaving or using or working the things at point of time. This is what the analyzing the current state. What I can say, the purpose of analyzing the current state is to understand the reason why an enterprise need a change some aspect of how to operate. It means here I need to be find out that why you need this solution. This is what the point here. Why you need this particular, even though not solution, why do you need this requirement? That is important to be discussed in this point of area, or this particular task, I can say. The starting point of any change is to understanding why. And it's a thumb rule says, even though in the problem management, if you go in the reactive problem statement, if you go, you can say 5 whys is a technique used to identify the root cause and to find out the root cause for the particular problem, I can say. The same thing you can apply here. As per my experience, I can say 5 whys, 6 whys, 7 whys will help you to get the answer for that particular things. Okay, potential change is triggered by the problem or the opportunity. Everybody know that due to COVID, things has been completely changed. It was a problem when the COVID came, it was a problem, but now people are using this as an opportunity and growing in the different areas. Okay, which cannot be addressed without altering the current state. Definitely, I don't want to go in that discussion, but everybody know that from work from office to work from home, how the complete structure has been changed. Because we want to make a change. So we analyze that now my resources, my employee cannot come to office. I have to make a change. So I analyze my current state here. In the business analyst format, if I say the current state is describe the important existing characteristics of the environment. This is what important here. Now the question comes, Atul, so what we discussed earlier when we gather the requirement, you think that we should be discuss these points earlier as well? Yes. If you want, you can discuss that why you need this part. But after getting the requirement, maybe because now you are defining the solution as well in the future state. So you can think why customer need this thing. Is it using earlier? Is having some problem? What he want to be achieved? This is what come in this part. But again, it is important. The scope of the current state describe the important characteristics, which includes the boundaries of the current state scope determined by the components of the enterprise and its environment as they are related to the need. Means when I'm discussing about the current state, it means that I have to be put a boundary that these are the things I'm considering so that I can achieve this thing and I need this thing particularly. The current state can be described on the different levels. Again, starting from enterprise till the small solutioning components as well. I need a new website. This is my need. But why I need on the website, what I need, it can be also the parts here. Okay. Defining the future state. Second important task, future state means from as is, I'm going to be the to be part. These things are important. If you see, if you take a look on this particular screen now, you can see that how many things I'm going to be output here. Maybe I can say, or maybe from experience or from your perspective, you can say, can we use these steps before requirement gathering? Yes, you can use. Why not? Before, at the time of the planning, you can still go through this part. You can understand this part. The reason, the purpose is just to putting these things in a bucket so that we can understand. But important point is that these steps need to be discussed. As a business analyst, my second question, okay, what do you want to be achieved? First question, where you are, where you want to be go. I don't have any tool of the tool at point of time. Okay, I can give the service now. This is my future state. So when we are discussing about the future state, important point which as a business analyst I need to be ensured, the future state should be well, or I can say the future state of the enterprise is well defined. There's a no ambiguity, there's a no conflict, there's a no reiterations, or I can say rewordings, reworks kind of things, or I can say means it's like crisp and clear. I can say it should be like this, so that everybody know that where we are and where we are to be go. That is the future state. Number one. Number two, it should be achievable with the resources available. That is important point. Customers say I want to do automation of complete my infrastructure. For that, you have to buy the item. If you don't want to buy the item, that's fine. But from the ITSM, you can achieve only this much part. That is important, the second thing. And the third point is that the key stakeholders should have a shared consequences vision of the outcome. Everybody should be clear, yes, this is my vision. Like company says, by 2025, I want to achieve this much $1 billion this much. I want to achieve this much. I want to achieve this much. What is that? That is their future state. From CEO, CTO level till the bottom, everybody has a clear vision that we want to achieve this thing. And also important here, the future state will be defined at the level detail that allows for competing strategy. Because when you are defining the future state, you have to make sure that your strategy should be aligned with that. Today you are going to be use the waterfall. Maybe tomorrow when you go to the future state, you say, no, it is not fitting now. I need agile. So you have to be think from now onwards if you want to go for that particular part. That is, it says in the planning part, if organizational standard does not exist, better to use the historical data, historical way of working which you already use in the areas. Second point, provide a clear definition of outcome. Again, no ambiguity, no scumbling, no I can say beautician or the cosmetic changes or cosmetic words. Be crisp and clear on what you want to be achieved. That is the future state. Number 3, details the scope of the solution space as well. That if you want to implement this, then the scope will be like this, or the solution will be like done by this manner. And the fourth one, allow for the value associated with the future state to be assessed. Definitely, if you want to be achieve any future state, there should be some value there which you want to be evaluate, which you want to be achieve. Only then it can be done. Okay. The third point, it says assess risk. A very much important point, because now it's asked sometime to me. Many people ask me, Atul, how you deal or how you work as a business analyst. So my personal experience says, when I work as a business analyst, I'm not going to be change the tool. My responsibility to change the mindsets of the stakeholders. That don't compare one tool to the two tool or third tool. You have to be think that what you are doing at point of time and how you want to go to the next place. If you change your mindsets, you're able to achieve it immediately and quickly and with the positive notes. So to do this part, we have to do the assess risk as well, because you are going from as is to be to be. Okay. The purpose of assess risk is to understand the undesirable consequences. It can be any way. It can be government changes, it can be country level changes, it can be security level changes, it can be data level changes. A lot of things are there. A lot of parameters are there. So we have to be assessed, and it is undesirable. See, nobody want that I should have in the risk. Everybody want I should go or I should run my business without any risk. But still, we have to be assess the risk. If I did not study today, tomorrow maybe I get failed. So I'm assessing my risk. This is what we have to be do it here as well. Okay, consequences of internal and the external forces, because it's a business. And here the things matter from the both sides. It can be internal, it can be external as well. Maybe you can also take some water now. It's a journey, so you can have your drinks, you can have your chips, or you can have your drinks as well. That's fine for my side. Okay, so in this part, risk might be related to current state, number 1. Number 2, it can be related to the future state. Definitely, it will be on the future state as well. Number 3, on the change itself. Let's say I am moving, or my customer says we want to move from manual to the automation. There is a huge risk. Huge risk. If automation fail and I have no person in the background who will work on that part. So in the change itself, it's a huge risk. And again, as a business analyst, we have to be define the risk properly in that particular part. The risks are analyzed for the number 1, possible consequences if risk is occur. If I say in the layman language, in the process perspective, there's a word called RAID, R-A-I-D. In ITL, in the ITSM, this word is very much famous. Risk, I guess, and some acceptance kind of things are there, so you can create the risk register at your side. Okay, so number 1, the possible consequences if the risk occur, because you're analyzing it. It means you want. If I take example of the ServiceNow, ServiceNow has a product called the IRM, Integrated Risk Management, which was called earlier GRC, Governance, Risk and Compliance. What are the purpose of that? The purpose of that companies should follow the complete standards and the regulations so that risk can be minimized. If risk occurs, and how it can be handled. So this is what we have to do. When we are analyzing it, we have to be analyzed in the proper manner. Impact of those consequences, in which area, in which domain it can be get impacted. Likelihood of the change may occur, may not occur, and the potential time frame when the risk might occur. This is very much important. No company, if you notice that during the period of the year ending between 15th of December till 30th, 31st of December, or the 6th or 5th of this January, no company go for any major deployments, because they know it's a silent time, it's a Christmas time, it's holiday time. People are not around, nobody is going to be supporting at that particular point. So they assess the risk beforehand to go for the deployments. So this is what we have to be do here. And the last, define the change strategy. So the change here means, which I'm getting from the previous one, if anything changes in the need, in the requirement, then how to be handle that part. It is important here. Now I can say, after seeing these 4 points, these steps can be work in parallel with the in the planning. It can work with my life cycle management. It can work with my in this illustration as well. So we have to think that how we can utilize this task. And I'm sure that everybody who is be working in this particular space, they're using or they're be working on this task, but not sure that how they are interrelated. So in the defined change strategy, the purpose is to develop and assess the alternative approaches to the change. Let's say my customer says, Atul, can you add a new field on this particular form? It is a new requirement they're giving to me, or they're changing the requirement now. So I have to find out that, do I have any alternative approach to fulfill that part? That is very much important. It can be technically, it can be via education, it can be via training, it can be via other way, but we have to be think on that part. Developing a change strategy is simpler. And why I'm putting the stress here, because it is important. I am a business analyst. I'm not the person who is authorized to do anything in the project work. I have to take approvals, I have to take proper authorization from the different stakeholders here. So the change strategy clearly describes the nature of the change in terms of, number one, the context of change, what you are going to be change. Identify the alternative change strategy. If this thing coming new, how I can fix that part, how I can use that part, how I can build that part. Number three, justification why for a particular change strategy is the best approach. It's depend, right? In like someone says, let's do the integration of the two tools. But later on someone says, or my stakeholder says, no, I don't want a tool. Let's use one tool only. So it's a change, and we have to define that why it is be useful. Then investment in the terms of the resources and the work to be done on that particular area of the future state. How the enterprise is going to be realize the value. Because until it is not developed, it's not deployed, it's tough to do that part. And the last, key stakeholder in that change, who are going to be take the complete authority, or I can say accountability and responsibility. Yes, we are the one who is proposing it, and we will be happy to with this particular change strategy now, and transition with the along way. So these are the few tasks which a business analyst need to be done in this particular part. Now let's come to our now grade. So I can come here. Yes, in the previous screen which we have opened. So let me come here. Yes. So when we say we are on the in this particular task, I can say we have to do the analyze the current state, future state, and risk. So you can do it here. So I can say, if you want to go for the future state, let's say align value, or I can say this part, or maybe if I'm not wrong, let me go for the business case, or maybe I can say change strategy here. You can do the impact analysis here. Again, few things you can reuse which we discussed earlier as well. So nothing to be worried on that part. Atul, are we going to be doing the wrong way? No, it's not like that. If you think it is be working for you, you can definitely use this particular strategies here. Okay. So like in the planning way, I can say plan value. See, define key measurement and linkage of the value. So now if I talk about the current state, so you can pick up this and you can take the inputs and update the business case, because in the business case you're getting the value actually, and the output can be key value measure defined. Let me come here and show you few more examples here. Okay, draft value management measurement tool plan value health checks. So how you are going to be achieve that part, this is what we have to do, because it is a current state and the future state, I can say this is very much important. Now if you say I can come here, review the current environment, this is from the technical perspective I can say, but still you can pick up it, because when I say the strategy is going to be changed, where I am at point of time and how I am going to be achieve the new things in the future state, I can use this documents as well. So let me open and see what document they're giving input, the input capability map. It is important point here, because in the as is state my customer is not using any tool, but in the to be state they're going to be use the service now. So I can use this capability map and show them that what they're going to be achieve if they're going to be use this particular area. Let me come back here, success pack, and let's go for the our normal ITSM part, implementation, and modernize this part. It gives a little more confidence to me as well, nothing to be hide. So now we can see here. So I can go here again, this thing we have discussed. So review technical governance. The same thing you can go for the process governance as well, or the change strategy governance as well. So here the technical part, if I'm making any change in the technically, but if I'm making any change in the process perspective, in the requirement perspective, I can use the same fundamental here and I can do my work on that part. The only thing is that for every step you must have something in your pocket to be used. Okay, then I can say let's go here quickly. Actual budget, definitely budget is not much. Okay, so here you can say, yep, I was saying a red log, it's a RADIC, RADIC. So you can see here, view asset, and you can use this part because it is important for us to be fine. So you can make it Excel format, you can download it, and you can do it very easily in your project. So it's include risk, issue, decision, action, and changes. It is important, which we discuss in the assess risk part. Actually important point here. So you can use as it is template in your projects and you can use that part. Okay. Then communicate project status. Important. If anything coming wrong, and you can manage project change, execute the steering committee. It can be used for your change strategy as well. If something goes wrong, sorry, not if something goes wrong or maybe something coming new, you can use the steering committee to update the things as well, and you can get the reporting templates as well here. Okay, so now let's take a break again. We'll connect you again in the next station very soon. Thank you so much.